Yes, please.
Yeah, let me be very clear here. You remember, I first of all wanted to go visit Ken Ofori-Atta, just to see whether he had any concerns or whatever. But I indicated a short while ago that some friends or relatives of his, I'll be very specific. I had a call from Gabi Otridako. He expressed that worry. And I assured him that he will have to go through the due process. I mean, everybody goes through a due process of law. So there's not going to be like, people are not going to attack him. We don't behave like that. He and that Ken himself, by his own doings, being evasive with the OSP arrest, have created this brouhaha around his case. So that is the point. So don't let nobody get me wrong. It was not my own view. It was a view expressed by Gabi Otridako, who is a relative of his. He made a call to me, and I said, I wanted to have an opportunity to assure him that he would have to go through the due process like anybody else goes through the due process. So that anxiety, the fear and everything was expressed by Gabi.
I see. So Gabi Otridako called you that Ken Ofori-Atta
yes, he did. He thinks that his problem is that he's not sure how he'll be handled or whatever. And I said, listen, I mean, this country, nobody, you go through a due process, and that is what the Attorney General has told me. And I had wanted to communicate that to Ken if I had the opportunity to meet with him.
And after that assurance given to Gabi Otridako, who made that call to you,
you don't need that assurance.
Did that seem to have addressed those concerns of apprehension when you spoke to him?
No, I mean, well, he knew that, he communicated. I don't know whether he has spoken to Ken, but it looks as if he was not communicating with Ken. He was in Accra and he made that call. Okay, and he thinks that is. He thinks that is the worry that his cousin has. Then I said, who's going to harass him? He has to go through a process. When he arrives, and the Attorney General had told me that he'll be taken through the due process, like anybody else.
See. Now that we're getting to know a bit more detail, Gabi Otridako, according to Ambassador Smith, made that call, actually, about Ken Ofori-Atta feeling, or he had this fear or apprehension that he might be treated unfairly, and reason why he is refusing to come to Ghana, essentially. But the sentiments so expressed, as Kofi referenced, and then the conduct of the OSP as he referenced, does that have any possibility or locus in law to influence how the process will play out against Ken if he comes, to legitimize any sense of apprehension that he has?
Well, can that influence the process? Well, you see, this, in terms of sentiment, okay, so we'll analyze from two perspectives. You are looking at what happens in the courtroom, and then you're also looking at public perception, so the court of public opinion. Obviously, Ken has brought this upon himself, right? By absconding, what he's done is that he's opened himself. Yes, so he's opened himself to so much opprobrium. People would, throw all manner of abuses, etc. at him. Because once he was finance minister, he ensured that the current governor of the Bank of Ghana, Esiama, Raymond Amanfo, etc., were prosecuted over the banking sector debacle. Yes, Ofori-Atta, I'm saying, yes, it's him. Everything shows. It's him. Even there is a tape.
Even there are two forcing prosecution.
Yes.
Those of us who were close to the case believe that he was a mastermind.
Not just believe.
Because of Force's advocacy.
Yes. Okay. Mr. Fosu, you've forgotten that Godfrey Dami admitted it on the tape. He said Ofori-Atta and Ekufuado were on his neck to make sure that Atuforsen is prosecuted and convicted so that there will be a rerun. So that is what Ken... Exactly. So he brought... He who lives by the sword would die by the sword. He caused this. He caused this.
Confessed, and we had evidence to that effect. He should have been removed from office.
Yes, but the tape was played here. No. The tape was played in court.
I am not saying that it was right, but upon such information, if it had reached the president, you should have removed him.
By national security fees, the president. Yes, that's what we're saying. But the president was very happy with Godfrey Dame. Godfrey Dame is his beloved, this is son. That is what this Akufo-Addo likes. Also, can say Tiwa, Yechiro Kakrebi. Akufo-Addo likes violence. He says Tiwa. He said it. He said Tiwa violence. Yechiro Kakrebi. Has he ever apologized for it?
You are making the point.
He said Tiwa violence. Yechiro Kakrebi. It's all Akufo-Addo who said it. You can Google it. When the violence in the by-election, I
don't want you to digress. You were making the point.
Yes, and so Apia Kubi's point is that if Akufo-Addo had heard about the tape was admitted in evidence in court, where Godfrey Dame said Akufo-Addo and Ofori-Atta were on his neck to ensure that Atto-Forson would be prosecuted and convicted so that there would be a by-election. And you know, that's a parliament that had the 138, and then Esiama, the Fomena MP, had to work with the MPP. Then they got a very small, minuscule majority, right? So if there had been that by-election, then they would do a lot of machinations to get that seat too, right? So that is the record that Ofori-Atta has built for himself. So because he knows he's done a lot of wrong, that is why he's afraid. That's why. Look at the banking licenses. Apart from, look at the untold hardships. Look at how he ran down state insurance, SIC. A lot of the businesses from SIC were hived off and given to his insurance company, Enterprise. Enterprise Insurance, state insurance, they were crying. They would see you and say, cancel. All the businesses were now being diverted from state insurance to Enterprise. We borrow, then Ofori-Atta's company makes money. The bonds. Ghana borrows, then Ofori-Atta's company makes money. So that's Akufo-Addo and his family becoming rich. That is the legacy he left behind. Please, I'm saying it. Okay. Look, when you have your time, say yours. You can't gaggle me. Every time, be careful. I would never. Just know that you and I are different.
Okay, hold on.
Stop. Every time you want to moderate.
Hold on.
No, I'm not. No, I just want you to know that he can never change me.
Make your point.
No, he's not coming. I just want you to know that he can never change me. You are called Apia Kubi. I'm called Pebu. The two names are the same.
Hold on.
Yes, but not when I'm making my point. No, there's nothing right. Yes, so I'm saying Ghana borrows, then Data Bank make their cuts. Ghana borrows, then Data Bank makes their cut, the bonds. So there was an incentive to keep borrowing, no matter how the money was used. Yeah? And then in no time, we became debt-ridden. So these are the things that are driving his fears. He knows the mess he created. Look at the bonds, the haircuts. Look at the pensioners who died. Look at Kama, Dr. Ejekum. Ejekum was crying, Kama Health, etc. Look at the people who died. So he is scared because of his own negative legacy, not what anybody will do. That Keke Kabubu song, maybe we should play it. Oh, the boy, nobody, you know it, right? Nobody do. Running away, nobody do. So he knows what he's done. He knows what he's done. That's why he's running away. Please don't put this on any other person. Look, we live in Ghana. Some months ago, when the state took Abronye, very vituperous in his utterances, he would insult everybody. Yet, when the law, the way they treated him was against law, I stood up. Domlevo also stood up. Look at Domlevo. Very good. So that is it. That's our society. And yes. So where is Ofori-Atta's fear? Let's start this in. A year ago, when Ofori-Atta left, at that time, I didn't know he was deceiving us, and I didn't know Kisei Jabin saw him leave. If you play back the tape, I was against the OSP for what they were doing because I said, the man informed the state agencies that he's going for medical checkup. What's your business with this? Check. Let's play back. You see how I defended Ofori-Atta. So I think if today Ofori-Atta comes back and the state keeps him beyond 48 hours, I'll not talk for Ofori-Atta. I'll do that. I stood up for Abronye. Meanwhile, we all know how Abronye, people were calling me on the side, Abronye is insulting IGP, he's insulted President Mahama, all that. And you see, Kwachi Fosu, even minister, you see, he didn't even, you see, he risked his position because the party works will say...
I publicly disagreed with the judge and demanded his immediate release.
Exactly, yes, I think we're here.
We rein in excesses by security agencies.
Thank you. So our society is changed. So me, talking today, if Ofori-Atta were to come today and were to keep him, even we don't have to wait for a 48 hours to elapse. So in the Pebu number 4, verse Attorney General number 4, so for Kufu's valedictory judgment, what she said and what the Supreme Court unanimously, that the moment it becomes clear to you that you don't want to admit the person to bail within the 48 hours, start going to the court. Don't wait. The law is not that wait for 48 hours to expire. So if Ofori-Atta, this is the promise, the pledge I'm making. Ofori-Atta comes, look, from the first hour, and this is how it shows you how our democracy is growing. We would be here, Facebook, TV3, monitoring. Yes, OSP, are you admitting him to bail? If you are not, what steps are you taking? Are we going to court? We will make sure that Ofori-Atta would enter court before the 48 hours if they will not admit him to bail. Ghana is changed. I mean, how? I can't come and sit here and say because of the things he's done, they should keep him. No. So this is fears. They are unfounded if they are based on what others will do. Rather, I think it is the negative legacy he has built, the way he's enriched his family at the expense of the state. That is what is haunting him. That is what is haunting him. He now knows that Atuforsen occupies his seat. The Atuforsen, he's on tape to have told Godfrey Dame said on tape that he, Ofori-Atta, was saying that he should pursue Atuforsen by hook or by crook, etc. That is what is haunting him. The bonds, the Ken bonds, Franklin Templeton, the Ghana boroughs, then the Akufo-Addo's family makes money. That is what is killing him, not Ghanaians. We would not do anything like that. So he should come and face the music. And then let's repeat this story. You know the part about he refusing to see Ambassador Smith. I mentioned it last week briefly. Let's go over it. You know there's this joke. When Reagan was shot in 1981, Reagan, that's ex-president of the United States, whilst they were taking him to do surgery, on their way to the theater, he stopped and then he asked the doctors that, hey, I hope you are all Republicans. The lead doctor was a known Democrat, very popular, Joseph Giordani. I mean, forgive my accent. I don't, it sounds like Italian or that. So the man was an obvious, a very popular surgeon. He said, Mr. President, today we are all Republicans, but he was a Democrat. So my point is that Ambassador Smith, the fact that Ofori-Atta doesn't want to see you is because you're of different political persuasions. So he's scared that if his data gets you, not that you leak it, but he's just scared that something will go wrong. So Ofori-Atta is not the first to attempt to refuse help from a political opponent.
But then it depends on the kind of help. Mr. Smith, is it not? I mean, it was... It's protocol that you were following, and
yes, it was a protocol. But at the same time, whilst you're with him, he may express something he would wish would be done for him, whichever way. I was going to go and listen to him, and then maybe share it with the government.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to discuss. I wasn't going to discuss the merits of his case at all. It was his person and his well-being.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Oh, I understand. Okay. We all know. But generally, sometimes it gets to certain situations, right? Kofi and the rest, and Kwachi Fosu is in PR. He will tell you he's the president's spokesperson. There are certain times, even some questions, the comment, when they ask you a question and you don't want to say anything, if you say no comment, even no comment itself can lead...
It's a major headline.
Exactly. So sometimes when they pose the question, depending on how sensitive it is, you just walk away. You won't say no comment. So Ambassador Smith, his fears are well-founded. I mean, he's human. You can't take his fears away from him, right? That's just to put that in perspective so that those saying, no, he should have allowed Ambassador Smith to come. No. That is how he feels. Right. Exactly. Let's leave that one at that.
Thank you.